let's bring it in. Here we go, man. MIC Podcast, episode 113, community content. You get it all here. In the building, we have another special guest, as always, man. She is a model, a podcaster, an event host. She's also put together her own events. She's got an event coming up, which I will let her, speak more on, later in the episode. We got Mica, Renee in the building. What's going on?
Thank you. You really did do your research.
Yeah.
You're like, she's a model. I'm like,
Yeah. We just try to hit all the points, but thank you so much for, coming through and, chopping it up. This is like the first time we're meeting, so it's going to be, great to be able to talk at length with you, just kind of see, the journey, for you throughout the city. I think it's, really interesting. And I think you have just a big knowledge base, to share about the city and, just your journey in particular. So
I'm really excited to talk about it because I've never got a chance to actually sit and talk about everything that goes into all the things that you see me doing on Instagram and stuff. So this is very exciting.
No, absolutely. So I'm assuming you're from the city originally?
I am not.
Oh, okay.
I'm not far from the city, but I'm actually from a small town. It's called Monessen.
Okay.
It's technically a city, but it's 45. It depends on how you drive.
Right.
35, 45 minutes out of the city, where there's actually even less to do, way less to do. So I actually been in the city since I was 23. So about 7 years now.
Okay.
But I've been working in the city since like 1920.
It's like 1920. Okay. Word. So just how was it growing up in I'm sorry, say the city name again? Monessen. Okay, yeah.
Monessen.
How's it growing up out there? Just from what you said, it sounds pretty rural.
It's very rural.
Yeah.
I would say, so what I will say to give the pros and the cons, the pros is it's a smaller community.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody's really close. Everybody knows everybody.
Yeah.
Like I graduated with a class of like 60 and all of us were
60.
60.
That's crazy. Okay, wow.
It was small. Yeah, it's very small. So, and we were all like this and you make your own fun.
Yeah, fresh.
So I think that's a lot of what goes into my personality as well. Like I've always had that personality of like, what's the moves? What are we going to do? Like we got to do something. And because there was really nothing to do, you made your own fun. Now, back then, it was a little bit
fun. I was about to say, it could get crazy.
It was crazy. I would say the high school fun with access to things that we shouldn't have access to.
Right. It got wild.
It was wild, but all in all, I think that helped my personality a lot because from just not having much to do and then just being in an area where it was very small and I wasn't used to having options.
Okay.
We had a couple bars, but I wasn't always old enough to get in the bars.
Yeah, right.
And then at that, if somebody had a party, you might have 2 parties that were an option and one might be close, the other one might be up there, but that was it. So coming to Pittsburgh and having some weekends, I just posted the monthly events. The monthly events, as of now, people are still going to post things. So as of now, there's over 70 things happening this month.
Okay.
So you look at those 2 dynamics and it's oh, wow. But I think that's also what makes me the perfect person to do that because I don't look at it from an aspect of oh, I've been here all my life. Oh, there's nothing to do. Oh, I don't like it. I look at it from an aspect of I literally come from where there's nothing to do. So there's always something to do.
Fast. Yeah. if you starting at zero, it's just, once you get in an environment like that, it's almost like a kid in the candy shop situation.
Exactly.
No, fast. Yeah. That shit is crazy. So did you end up going to college?
I did. So I graduated from Cal U, actually for radio TV.
Nice. Okay.
And that was many moons ago, 2015. So
so you try to age yourself. That's not crazy long. It really does though. Yeah.
My freshman year was 2011. So,
okay.
I do make myself sound older than I am.
Yeah. It's not no, because it's we're in kind of that pocket where it's not that long ago at all, but it just kind of seems maybe it's less than 10 years, you know what I mean?
No,
so it's
exactly.
just it's not crazy long ago.
It feels forever ago. For me, it's I don't know, time is just going really, really crazy fast. But at the same time, I remember everything and how it played out. But I did go to Cal U, which was another same scenario.
Okay, word.
Monessen, because Monessen is very adjacent to Cal U. It's only about a 10-minute drive from Cal U. So me going to Cal U was another space where it was all right, well, what's the moves? What do we do? And I'm a Kappa sweetheart. So the Kappas like ran the yard when I was up there. And being that I was a sweetheart, we had like all the events, and my hand was always in the events, especially the hosting part. So a lot of people don't know that like I'm hosting stuff around here, and it's kind of new to people around here. I've been hosting stuff since I was like 20. Like the first thing I hosted at school was at like 20, and so that's one of my other true long time passions.
Yeah, facts.
But to be honest with you, I actually just graduated from Carlo.
Congratulations, that's awesome.
December. Yeah, so I actually just got my master's in social work.
There you go.
And that was why I always say it's many moons, because it like felt like a completely different life of going back to school.
Yeah, no. It's definitely a different tone than undergrad.
Undergrad was like,
yeah,
I
right.
was fighting for my
life. Absolutely right. Yeah, a total switch up. Like,
oh my goodness, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy, but we did it, and I actually walk next month. So
that is awesome, yo. Congrats on that. That's fucking crazy. So, was it pretty much after college that like you made the jump to Pittsburgh?
Yeah. So I actually got an internship while I was in college, my junior year with Whammo.
Okay.
And that was in the promotions team, and so I did that from like.
And is Whammo a radio station? Mm-hmm. Okay, copy.
Yep, it's our hip hop and R&B
copy.
Station,
Okay, because like, I was like, I feel like I've heard that before. I just wanted to make sure I was thinking correct.
No, you're right. It's our only hip hop and R&B station actually in the region, and they were very, very, very popular when I was growing up, and they had not died, but they had like. It went out of business or something of the sort. Like they weren't there anymore for a couple of years, and then they came back around the time, like I think a couple of years before I got in college.
Okay.
So I was like super hype. I was like, especially graduating in radio, TV, and then having the opportunity. A radio station, and I eventually did get hired as a promotions assistant.
That's awesome.
No, it was really dope. It was just like, when you're young and you're kind of doing different things. I think I had to grow up, but I also am glad that everything played out the way it did. I think I parted ways probably at like my 22nd birthday, the week of my 22nd birthday. I don't know how I forgot that, because that was very impactful.
Yeah, right.
But but that was also a big reason why I know Pittsburgh as well. So I feel like that kind of gave me the introduction to Pittsburgh.
Right.
We weren't so much in the club scene. We were more so like, when I was there, we were more so in the concert scene. And like,
sure, yeah.
We had some like, we would always go to Galaxy Lounge. Like we had some ongoing like
Galaxy Lounge. I'm not hip. That I've never heard that before.
Homewood.
Okay. Is it still up and running?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep, it's still up and running. Shout out to Lil D. I think he's over there still running it. So yeah, we used to always go there. That would be like our ongoing remote. And then we had like a bunch of stops around the city, but the party aspect, honestly, I feel like I'm like a very talkative person, and I'm very like friendly, and I get to know people quick. So like people would be coming in, and we would have DJs coming in, we have this one coming in, and all these people. So I would follow them on Instagram. And at the time, I'm like 21, 22, so I want to be outside.
Yeah, right. You got that outside battery in your back, like
like that's all I want to do.
Right.
So I started following like everybody. Like I remember Solo Dolo, like we used to be at the radio station a lot, and I would like be on his Instagram, like, where are we going tonight? Like, where's the parties? And stuff. So I got rolling to it in that aspect, and I think I started posting. I had a blog for a couple years in between. I want to say I started posting actual events going on in this city by the time I was like 24, 25.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was posting, but nobody really was like following my blog. So it's like one of those situations.
Right, yeah, just like posting to the void type of vibe, yeah.
Right, like I would be posting, and I would like see other people were having events, and I'd be like, oh, I'm gonna put this on my blog. And I was also working at, after a while, I started working at Room 16 in Extaza.
Okay, what's
which
like
used to be on the Strip District.
Are those both like clubs or?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, copy. Okay.
Are you from
the area? No.
Okay, see now I got asked.
Yeah. No, not originally. 3 years ago now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the owners who run Enclave used to run Room 16 in Extaza, and that used to be like basically how the Strip District is all revamped, and it looks amazing now. I remember when they first started doing it, I was irritated. Like, they take my job.
I mean, it's probably just like mad construction fucking going on. I'm just like regular Pittsburgh shit, Exactly. It's just like, damn, it's mad traffic. Exactly. But like now, years later, when it's finished, like, okay, damn, so that's kind of nice.
Right now, I'm like, okay, I'll shut up.
Yeah, right.
But no, that they used to have that whole back section. It was 2 clubs, and I used to work the front door and stuff. So that's also how I used to post a lot of events, and I would give away free tickets because me and the promoters were like this, and they knew I had a blog, so they were like, yeah, if you'll promote it, that's cool. Like, give away free tickets, and I did that for like a couple years, and then eventually I like died down, and I revamped everything when I went viral.
Okay, yeah, no. We're gonna get into that. No. We're gonna get into that because I do wanna, because like you just said, like y'all left the radio station at like 22.
Mm-hmm.
What like spurred that decision?
I would say it was probably like, I think my boss at the time just could kind of see that I was struggling with a lot of things. Like a month before we like agreed to part, whatever, I like had wrecked my car. I still lived with my mother at the time, so I was still living in Denora at the time, which is right next to Menneson. Okay. So I was far from the city. I wasn't close to the city. I had totaled my car. I was like trying to use my mom's car, and then like I'm terrible with time in general. But like,
yeah,
life, like,
no, fast.
but at that time, I didn't have it.
No, facts. And I was even about to say, like, it's probably you and mom's, because like, I've been in that situation. You and mom's beefing over the whip.
Yes.
Niggas have been there before, you know what I mean? And it's just like, it's tough to get an attitude about a vehicle that's not yours.
Exactly. And then I'm very ambitious, so I used to have it in my mind like, I'm going to make it to work no matter what. So I would take the bus from up there to downtown, and from downtown to Forest Hills. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy.
Yeah, no, that's a rough route.
It was almost like 2
all
or 3
public
hours.
Transportation. That's crazy. Yeah.
And I would still get to work at like 9:15, and mind you, I started at 9.
Yeah.
And I think everybody was like, that was a little bit of the issue. I think you could just tell like as time was going on, my motivation was a little bit like down. Like I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't getting paid enough to keep it a thing.
I mean, I was about to say, like, a production assistant that's a grind. That's tough work.
Yeah, it's like they want. Well, you know, I respect the hustle, but I think, and I'm not even saying it's just a whammo. Like, I think in general, those type of jobs that they don't brace you for when you're younger is like you're not getting paid.
Yeah, no. You're actually about to get paid dirt. Exactly. We'll actually hand you dirt every 2 weeks.
You're probably a couple steps up from somebody at McDonald's.
No, for real. Yeah, like you're just in a radio station. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that.
You just have access.
Exactly, right.
And it's cool. Like if you know what to do with it. Like if you're a DJ or you got other things going on. I was working on getting a radio back then. Like I was working on trying to get a radio show back then. But it didn't work. I fell through. But like if you got the accesses, it puts you in different spaces.
Absolutely, yeah.
You can really maximize on that. But we're talking about like a 21, 22-year-old version of myself.
Dog.
I was like wet behind the ears and just happy about the opportunity.
Still a kid.
But also wanting to get the hell away from my mom.
Yeah.
So I'm like, none of this is working.
Yeah, right.
The amount ain't working.
Yeah, right.
Y'all upset with me because I ain't coming on time.
But I ain't coming on time because you niggas aren't paying me shit.
Right,
like,
the car is messed up.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
Like,
yeah,
oh my gosh. And this is supposed to be like right after I'm like so elated because I just graduated. Nobody ever gets their job after they graduated with their major. Like you never get your job.
You're like, yo, they did not say it was this many weapons in the Bible forming.
Right. Oh my goodness. I'm telling you.
It's bad weapons.
That right there alone could have had its own book probably. It was quite the adventure back then. And I still look back to this day because I remember when I totaled my car, I actually fell asleep behind the wheel and woke up in a creek. And it was actually a day where I was working for Whammo.
Damn.
And, it wasn't their fault at all, but it was like I was salary at the time. Salary very low.
Mm-hmm. I mean facts.
To keep it a beat.
Yeah.
I was salary at the time and I had to be at events on the weekend. So even though I was working like Monday through Friday, like I also on the weekend had to come and do like any weekend events. So, and then I'm young, I'm being goofy. I'm like, cool, I'm going to go work this weekend event. And then I had events I wanted to go to.
Yeah.
So I'm, like,
so I'm going to work the work events and then I'm going to work my events.
Exactly. So the day started at like 10, 11 a.m. where I left the house. And now it's like 4 a.m. and I'm headed home. And I was running, like burning the candle at both ends.
Yeah, right.
So I fell asleep behind the wheel, woke up in a creek, was like completely confused that I even was in the creek. Jumped out the car, tried to push the car up out of the creek. Then it like hit me as I'm like having all this adrenaline to try to first off, I don't even know who tries to get back on and push a car. But like to this day. To this day, that's like the most confusing thing.
But listen, it's just because like I'm feeling, because you hop out the whip, you're like, yo, what the fuck I was supposed to?
Like I woke up and I'm in a fucking creek, so I'm just like,
hey, let me try to push this motherfucker.
I'm like, I just jump out and I'm like, I'm in the water.
Hey, listen, this shit cost me 15, 16, 17, 18 grand. Let's put, let's explore the option.
I'm like, I can't do it. And I'm young. My mom is at home. Like, I know she about to be mad at me.
Yeah, man. Nah, that's crazy, though.
So I would try to get that
mean, thank God you're fucking okay, too. That's fucking wild,
no, honestly, seriously, thank God for that. Because I think that was a moment that woke me up, too. Because I remember I went through like a past a tree and past a metal beam. I think they said like I was perfectly between a tree and a metal beam. And had I not, like, if I was just a couple feet to either side, I could have hit the tree and like split the car. I could have hit
that's fucking
and, like, the car.
Crazy. Bro.
So God definitely had his hand on that.
That's super wild. Yeah, and it's just like, it sucks. It takes moments like that to realize, yeah, maybe I should have probably slowed down.
Exactly.
Maybe I probably should chill out.
And because my best friend said, she's like, God protects babies and fools, and you're a fool. Because I didn't slow down. Damn. You would have thought that would have been like, all right, sit it down. I was like,
no, that's a bar to be back
out. Like, I got it was a mess. But no, so that was a lot. When that happened, I kind of knew like that stuff was kind of going downhill.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of stuff going on in my personal life with like my family, my home and stuff at the time. And it was just like
all hating you at different
every angle. Just finished school and you're supposed to be like in your glory. Right?
Right, exactly.
Everything is amazing. Life is amazing. And everything was like falling apart. So I personally remember literally like whenever I came in that week and I got like my manager talked to me, he's like, I think we're going to part ways. I remember like I kind of felt it coming because I think I came to the office like 4 hours late that day.
Oh shit!
Yeah, because me and my mom got into it.
Yeah,
I missed my bus.
Damn.
She was mad at me and was like, "You're not taking my car." Then I finally got her on board with everything, and she was like, "Fine, I'll take you halfway." But halfway wasn't like full way. I remember I was walking down the highway and I finally got in there. I'm like, "Oh my goodness!" And as I got in there, he's like, "This is stressing you out," and I'm like, "Yeah, but you know, and." Shout out to him too, because I mean he was honest about it. He was like, I could tell like this is not working for you. And I was like, no. And I think I was miserable at the time, and I wasn't being honest with myself about it. Yeah. So I'm glad that everything worked out the way it did. But yeah, that's what happened.
That's fucking wild. And I mean, like, thank God you like came out on the other side of that, because that's crazy, yo. Not for real. So when you know, like I know like that was a pretty tumultuous period, but like when after like you left, did you begin your modeling career? Because like I know it was like 7 years ago, like
somewhere around that time.
Kind of started, or
no, I think my first show I was 24.
Okay,
yeah,
so like 2 years after that. Okay, word, all right.
Yeah, around that time, yeah, because by then, like I ended up like without talking going into years that were between there. But I ended up working at Banana Republic, factory store.
Okay,
and I really loved it there. I was like assistant manager, and I started to like have this little passion for fashion and stuff, and I still wanted to get into media, so I knew like. Because of how much I know that media across the board pays. Because I actually interviewed for like one of the news stations while I was with Wham.
I could definitely see. I could definitely see you reporting some news. Like,
they were trying to give you as a production assistant.
Yeah,
they wanted me to walk before I.
Oh shit! Yeah. No, I was about to say like I thought it was more of just like in front of the camera. I'm just like, no, I could see that.
That's what I originally went to school for, but everybody was like trying to put me in spaces that were kind of
make you pay your dues type shit. Yeah, right.
And I respect
it. Yeah, no, definitely.
But it was also kind of like we're a different age where like we have the power to like do our own thing.
Absolutely.
More than like ever. Like
a lot more autonomy.
Like you could literally start your podcast and just be like, cool, we're going to talk about what I want to talk about and do this how I want to do it. So at a certain point, I think that's when I woke up and was like, cool, like I'm going to just do how I want to do stuff. So I actually was like doing YouTube stuff, trying to play around with that. And I remember a girl hit me up from my hometown and she was like hanging out in Pittsburgh a lot. And she was like, so I'm getting models together and she wanted to do like curvy models. And so I was like, cool, like I love that. I want to be a part of it. And we did like a photo shoot and I really liked it. And I was 23 at the time when I did that. And then by 24, I want to say, maybe 23, 24, so somewhere around there. I did my first fashion show with them and I really liked it. And there was a photographer there. Shout out to Bruce. Bruce, me and him still keep in touch to this day. He's amazing. He took all these great pictures of me and it kind of like woke me up. And I was just like, oh, like I really was like doing that. Like I really was like killing that. My walk was on point. I had videos. My friends were sending me. I'm like, my walk was on point. My pictures were good. I was like, let's try it.
Yeah.
And like when I try stuff, I go full in. So like it took me a lot of places. Like I've done a lot of local stuff, obviously, but I've also done New York Fashion Week twice.
Okay, fine. I did peep that. Yeah,
with Small Boutique Fashion Week. So
that's
and
hard.
That was amazing. The whole New York feel is like it's different.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I'd still be trying to like, send out stuff and see what I can get into. I'm still trying to play around with it. I'm aging a little bit for the model world. I did have a wake up call. I went to a Wilhelmina will call, which Wilhelmina is a really big name in the model industry.
Okay.
And they had like basically like not a will call, but a like open call is what I meant to say. So I went to one of those in Buffalo, New York, and I had a moment where I was like, oh girl, you're old. because I'm standing in line and all these girls were so much younger than me. And they're like, I'm so old. They're like, how old are you? I'm 24. And I'm like, I'm like 25. And in model years, that's like literally like 40. And then they just look at me literally like, and I swear stuff that happens to me is like a movie. They looked at me and they're like, how old are you? And I'm like, 30. I just rolled my eyes. And they're like, oh. Or maybe I was 29 at the time. I was something of the sort. And they're like, oh. Then everybody like try to change their tune up. I'm like, no,
yeah, right. Yeah.
I know, I'm old.
It's not that bad. Yo,
it's cool. But you know what they say about black don't crack. So I got
type shit. But
I still look 25.
But then, no. I mean, like, again, you look incredible for your age, but like for your age, it's just like you're not,
because we're not even old, right?
You're not like, I don't think 30 is even like, that's just like, I feel like that's like the first stage of like being like an actual adult. Like,
right. Honestly, you feel more like an adult at 30 than you ever felt.
Like in your 20s, you're on paper an adult, sure, but I mean, nigga, like, you know, I mean, you're not an adult.
No,
you know, and then like maybe like in like the later, you know, half of your 20s, you start to be like, all right, you know what I mean? About 30, I feel like that's like your first level of like being an actual adult. And like, bro, it's just also funny because like when we were younger, someone told us they were 30. We were like, damn, nigga, like,
you old.
Yeah, bro. But then just like even seeing just because like, you know, people that like we went to school with are now teachers. Okay. You know, so just like if you just can like imagine third grade looking at your teacher, they're probably 24, 25, 26.
And in your mind you're like,
oh my God. Yeah, right. You know, so no, that's just bad funny. Like even with the models, like they start just like, I mean, that's like a very like, you have to decide when you're 18, your parents force you into that damn near, you know what I mean? It's just like, hey, you know, model or like whatever. So
exactly.
That's all they know. So like by the time they're 21, 22, they've been doing shit for 10, 15 years, you know what I mean?
Exactly. And that's what makes it like all the different. And I really enjoyed that experience. That was one of the most amazing experiences is being able to like jump in and meet so many different models and kind of hear about all the different things. So we follow like the models from other shows. We still all follow each other on Instagram and stuff. I think that world is just its own world, and it's so cool. Like that environment, you'll never catch an environment like a model environment. Like you all pop up and you just audition real quick and you're here for a show. You have one day to get it all together and you have to walk out with your best walk and make sure that you do something that people are like, yeah, I like that. So it was definitely an experience. I definitely can't wait to get back into it. I'm hoping to do another New York Fashion Week this year. So we shall see.
No, that's fire. And just like, you know, even, you know, you touching on like that whole model world, like I know, like you said, you know, like a homie like had initially, you know, given you that initial opportunity. How did you navigate finding opportunities past that point? Like, was it easy for you? Like, was it hard? Like, was it hard to like kind of make connections and get opportunities?
This is a great question because I get a lot of people that reach out to me asking me this, and it's really like, I have to say, like, and I'm not trying to be funny, like you have to have that dog in you. Like you have to have that dog in you.
There you go.
Because if you don't have it in you, like you're not going to get any opportunity. So for me, when I realized like, oh, I really want to try modeling, I just remember I followed all these pages. I would like follow the hashtag New York Fashion Week, New York castings, Pittsburgh castings, any castings that were in Pittsburgh, I was popping up to. Anytime I seen like opportunity there, friends that were photographers, let's shoot. Anytime somebody was like, I got a free, like, I can't even think of how many times whenever I was coming up, there was always somebody talking about, we're doing a photo shoot here, we're doing a photo shoot there, like jump in with that. Like any opportunities that there were to get like more content, more like, you know, resume type stuff, or you know, just kind of work on your portfolio.
I was about to say build the portfolio. In fact,
your portfolio, I just jumped in on it. And then eventually when I would see the things like on Instagram was my biggest space because I would see like the casting opportunities and then I would submit. But how I originally put it together, like to get the looks and the model look together, I went on Pinterest and I would look up like photo shoots and different.
That's interesting, Ralph. That's crazy. Okay, word.
Yeah, so I would be on Pinterest like crazy, just like, okay, so let me see what that model did. Oh, I like that shoot idea. Oh, I like how that looks. Let me see what I could do to
just like some expo shit. Yeah. No. That's a crazy route. Like I never heard of someone using Pinterest and just like as like a tool to be like, all right, yeah, I mean, because like, I mean, like I think it's a great tool.
Yeah, you gotta study everything you do.
Yeah,
if you want something, you gotta study it. So even with the like, I can't say like I'm not like in the words of Drake, like I ain't been in Vogue, so you know. But like, I mean, honestly, that's the type of things that got me the opportunities I got because I was just like, this is what it looks like. This is how I want it to look, and I'm gonna make it come to life. And then once it comes to life, I'm gonna send it to people and see like who bites at it.
Absolutely.
And one more thing I'll add about modeling that I really like. I think that modeling is really cool for like rejection as well, because it really prepared me for like to understand like the world of rejection. Because you walk, like there's plenty of spaces. Like I even mentioned Wilhelmina, like that's the top name. I clearly didn't get casted with Wilhelmina. That doesn't mean I'm going to stop trying.
Absolutely
but it's really
not.
like
facts.
a good tool to like teach people how to like really navigate what it's like to not be everybody's cup of tea.
Nah, facts. And like I even like we'll just have this conversation with another one of our guests, Josiah. Shout out to Josiah. Go well, peep that episode if you haven't. But he has a modeling career as well. And like we're just kind of talking. It's just like even if you get that no, it don't mean that you're not that thing. You know what I mean? It's just like you just got that no. So like I think that just going off what you said just kind of encompasses that energy. Just like like I got this no, but it doesn't mean I'm not the thing I'm trying to pursue,
Exactly. You're not everybody's cup of tea. You're not going to be everybody's cup of tea. And that's a great thing. So you just build off of it. Keep moving.
Absolutely. No, definitely. So what were some of like the initial challenges, if any, like when that, you may have faced when you were navigating, the modeling industry, or just even at the beginning or more later in your career when you kind of had some feet under you in that regard?
I would say, so it was honestly, I was truly blessed in the space of it, because I know a lot of people now don't always have photographer friends or have like those opportunities and things like that. I got into a space where like the girl who asked us to kind of jump in with the shows also was like trying to start her own kind of like agency type of vibe kind of thing. So she was starting to curate her own photo shoots. So a lot of like my portfolio in the very beginning had just come from that. But then also Instagram was like becoming like the popping thing at the time. So then as I was posting pictures, photographers would reach out to me and be like, hey, that was a dope photo shoot. Can you work with me? So I kind of fell into the space of like being able to get these free opportunities. But that would be a huge con if I didn't. Like if I really, really wanted it, a lot of people do have to pay, and the pay. Like some of the photographers I know, like I'm thinking right now, trying to book stuff, because my podcast is actually coming back this year as well. And so I'm trying to book a photo shoot, for graduation as well. And these prices that I'm seeing and getting quoted, I'm like,
and also niggas that are one of these prices don't be photographers. Like they don't be.
Exactly. Sometimes, and it's really like you have to navigate who's the best one to even go to and stuff like that. Another thing I would say was probably a con is like distance and stuff like that. Sometimes it would be like pop up at a shoot here, or like New York. I funded everything for New York. Like I wanted that opportunity. So I didn't get paid for New York Fashion Week. I wanted to be there. I thought the opportunity is amazing in general. Everybody who comes into the room. I think we had I can't remember what celebrity, but our last show that we did, there was like a celebrity that came through and stuff. So like I paid for my hotel, I paid for the trip to like go up there, but I drove. You put a lot into it before you see a lot out of it. Now I have also gotten paid for modeling.
Absolutely.
But, so it has worked out in its aspect, because when people see what you're doing, and as long as you're promoting yourself in a correct way, you're pouring a lot into it, but then eventually like people are going to pour into you. Like I don't really do too much like free modeling anymore. I mean, I'll do it if somebody asks me and I like really vibe with them and I'm really like feeling it, like, oh, that's a cool concept and stuff like that. But like I usually need some kind of trade-off or something, because it's a lot that goes into it. And a lot of people like kind of like similar. I just heard this conversation with like video girls. Like back in the day, they used to pay video girls all this money, and then eventually they were like, oh, well, they're going to do it for free. Like you're going to be able to find somebody who wants to do it for free. So like as long as I've been doing it and as good as I know I am, like I can come in and get you your shot, and then maybe like I said, give me about less than 30 minutes, you'll get the shot you need. So
mad professional. Again, no. Like the professionalism. That's what they're paying for. Is the professionalism of it all.
Exactly.
Some people will do it for free, but they show up an hour late. You know what I mean? Some niggas show up, like. You know what I mean? Like,
and I still do like people I'm real cool with, and I've always been real cool with, and haven't worked with me like way back. I'm like, we'll do it together. That's totally fine. But like, if it's like people reaching out to me, it's like, oh, like what are you doing? I'm like, it's gonna have to be like some kind of
compensation on that end.
So I know I'm gonna give you like
type shit, you know what I mean?
Like, you're not gonna get any bullshit working with me. Like, great atmosphere and shot.
That's what you pay for. So exactly.
Yeah, it's my time and yours.
Okay, no. And thank you for touching on that. And you also quickly touched on New York Fashion Week, and I definitely want to get into like the meat and potatoes of that. Like, how did that opportunity come about? And
what opportunity? I'm sorry.
The New York Fashion Week opportunity.
New York Fashion Week. Yes.
Yeah. What's going in through your head? I mean, because that's a huge event. I mean, if you weren't familiar with New York Fashion Week, that's a pretty notable event. So just how did that come across your desk, and like, is there I'm assuming there's nerves associated with that whole situation.
Right. So that one, I really can't remember how I found it, but I feel like it was from following the New York Fashion Week castings hashtag on Instagram. I had ran across like a page, and one of my things was always like, if you go on a page and you see like the following, like I'm looking to make sure, do you have like a heavy following?
Yeah, right.
So like Small Boutique Fashion Week had like this amazing following, and it was like, go ahead and submit and we'll see what happens. So like I submitted, and this lady reached out to me. It was actually 2020, right before COVID.
Oh, shit.
So this was February.
Wow, no, that's literally right before. That's fucking crazy.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
So like January, they hit me up, and they're like, so we really want to like, like we seen you in the casting like realm or whatever, and we want to have you for our show. And the lady who picked me, she picked like so many models. And she had like sneakers, I remember. And I was just like, wow, like, okay, cool. So like, as I'm navigating everything, my biggest nerves leading up to the first show was the sneakers, because I'm not like a sneaker girl, and I'm like used to walking in heels, and I know my walking heels. I'm flat-footed as I don't know what, so I was nervous about walking like.
Wouldn't that be easier though, or like?
No, it sounds like it would be easier, but like when I walk in sneakers, like if you catch me on my day-to-day life and I'm walking in sneakers, there's no swag to it whatsoever. Like I'm just chilling. Like I'm like. Yeah. So like, but if I have heels on, it naturally reminds me like, oh, you need to walk like you're that big. Like,
right.
So I'm like, you want me to do what?
Yeah.
And they had other shoes, but somehow they gave me the sneakers. So I'm like, okay. And then they also gave me a hoodie, and I'm more of like I like chill wear, but like.
When you're modeling, like you like to,
I like to be like all, because I feel like it's more of a character that you're like.
Sure, fair, yeah, fair enough, right.
So if I feel like I'm feeling my character, like I feel like I'm like all dolled up, and then I'm going to give you all dolled up.
Right.
So when I first did that one, I'm in a hoodie, I'm in sneakers.
Right.
I'm in a hoodie, I'm in sneakers. I'm like, we'll see. Then I got there, and they did our makeup. They like tweaked around a couple stuff like with our hair and stuff, and I'm just like. I think I was just like in a daze until it actually happened. Like my best friend came with me. Shout out to my best friend Shy. She's amazing. She was from Philly, and she came up there, met me or whatever. And I remember she kept saying to me like, all right, you ready? You ready? And I was like, yeah, we shall see. And she's like, what do you mean we shall see? Like we're here. Yeah, like we're in New York. Like you're about to walk.
Yeah, right.
Like, we'll see how it goes. Like, you just never know, because I couldn't believe it. I'm like, how did I, like this girl from Menneson who graduated with like 60 people, like barely knew anybody, end up in big old New York about to walk? Like, sometimes I be having to pitch myself about stuff that be popping up with me. I'm like, is this real life? Like, whose life is this? And I have imposter syndrome.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, so that first one, it was like, I didn't believe it was happening until it happened. And then when I walked, I remember I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do all this stuff when I walk out there. I went out there. I like did a couple pivots. It would look good. I remember they recorded it and stuff. And I was like, all right, it's cool. But I was like supposed to drop. I was supposed to do all this stuff. I was like, I'm going to go out there and be crazy with it. And I was just so nervous. I was just like, I'm just going to give my best walk pose and I'm out. The second time around though, killed it. Even did a photo shoot up in New York. So that was actually really cool. The second time was my bread and butter. And so like, I think once you get that first nervous round out, like you'll be like, cool. Like the second time I knew I came up there, I knew what I came up there for. And I was like in there when the pictures were phenomenal. Everything was amazing. So,
how was that initial walk like?
With sneakers?
Yeah.
Ooh, no, it was good. Honestly, it was a good walk. I think I walked to, do you remember that song from Like Mike? Everybody wants to roll down.
That's Tears for Fears.
Okay. Yeah. It was either that, because Sky's the Limit played before that, and then I think that played right after.
Okay.
And I was just like, all right, we're gonna go for it. And I think like some of my like natural brand and aura is like more of like a sexier vibe, and nothing about that felt sexy. So I was just like, we gonna go with it.
Yeah.
And I honestly didn't know how I did until my friends started. My friend showed me the video, and then I started seeing like the photo shoot and the pictures and stuff. And I was like, okay, I did good. Like I was trying to keep like a little swag with it, but like that's not my thing. Like I'm really not like a swagger dagger girl. Like I can do the hoodie look. If you see me chilling in a hoodie and stuff, like it's because by choice. It's not like that was like, oh, she was trying to swag.
That was the late. Like, no.
No.
Yeah, no, you just trying to chill out.
For me. But I mean, it all worked out. And
no.
A month later, we were stuck in the house for about a whole year and a half.
Yeah, that shit is crazy. No, that's nuts. And like, thank you for just giving up the whole scope of your modeling career, because it just kind of leads me into like the next phase. Like, so you have all that modeling experience under your belt. Like, how did you just kind of being like the pulse of like nightlife, for the Pittsburgh scene? Because to me, those can kind of run concurrently.
Somewhat, yeah.
Yeah, in a sense. I mean, like obviously, like there's two different, I guess disciplines, if you want to like use that word. That's not necessarily the word, but it's like two different things, but they kind of have parallels just as far as like the networking. I'm really just kind of
like that network.
Yeah, the networking aspect. So yeah, like was that kind of happening at the same time for you, or is it just a hard stop with you modeling and then like you just kind of jumping into like this whole just like letting people know where to go?
That's a really good question. I would say, I don't want to say there was a hard stop with modeling, because a lot of these things, like I think I just slowed down on modeling in 2023, and that was just because in 2023, 2022 was such a crazy year for me. And 2023 was when I was like, if I'm going to graduate, I gotta like pause.
Yeah, right. Facts, that's fair.
So yeah, it was honestly, I would just say they kind of all had their own separate lanes. I like to look at myself like a Renaissance woman.
No, absolutely. Like I can, like I'll give you that title myself. Like you, like are doing mad things, all the things. You about to get a master's. Yeah, I mean, you just told me you went to New York Fashion Week twice. You a Renaissance woman.
I appreciate
sure.
that. Yeah,
so definitely.
It had its own lane and it had its own respect in my world, in my head, and everything. And then I had like the party, like the consistent what you see now on Instagram actually didn't even pick up and start until May 2022.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that actually was like, so I did my second New York Fashion Week, September 2021. We wrapped that up and everything. And then by January 2022, I went viral. By May 2022, I started telling everybody what was going on in the city.
Yeah,
so
okay.
They all kind of like ran with each other. It was a hell of a year. 2022 was a hell of a year.
No, facts. And what would you say like kind of came more naturally to you? Like, would you say like modeling and being in front of the camera came more naturally, or just kind of being more behind the scenes and like letting people know where to be at and just like kind of being that knowledge base?
Everything is very natural for me because I'm like, okay, so in addition to being a Renaissance woman, and a lot of people will understand what this means when I say it, I'm a Virgo.
Yeah.
Beyonce is a Virgo. You see how Beyonce be?
Yeah.
She got like
absolutely.
13 million things going
So essentially, you're Beyonce.
No,
well, yeah.
I don't want that. I'm like, wait, I can't. No, but I'm cracking up. No, but being that I'm a Virgo, I'm part of the family,
right?
So we pull off them traits. So yeah, like for me, it was just like everything spoke to me, so everything had to get done. I think honestly, if I'm being honest, the thing that I was most resistant to do in the very beginning was the podcast.
Okay,
and that ended up being the most natural
interesting
out of all of them. Modeling was easy for me because not easy, but it was more. How can I put it? It was like it was a lot of fun for me because once I realized I was good at it, I was just like, boom, boom, I'm getting what I need to do. Like I'm jumping in on it. So that always felt very natural to me. But the biggest surprise probably was the podcast because that stressed me down to my like core.
Yeah.
And then when it came out and I actually seen it come to life, I was like, wow, well, my full name is Lamisha. Yeah. So sometimes when I talk to myself, I say it like that. But yeah, I'm like, wow, Lamisha, like, you outdid yourself. Like, this is good. So I think that was the biggest surprise, but I don't think any of them were really like not natural for me. Like telling everybody what goes on in the city, that was natural for me.
Because you would just do that anyway type shit.
I was doing it anyways. I was constantly telling my friends. So if my friends hit me up, like, what we doing this weekend? I was sending them that list. Oh. Less professional, less like
sure,
Instagram
right, yeah,
people,
yeah.
But I would be like, oh, I seen this, that. I may be DMing them and sending everything to their DM. And now we're talking about like 20 events I just sent them to DM. And they're like, so what you want to do? And I'm like, I don't know. I just want you to know that these are what's going on this weekend. So
yeah.
So
facts.
that was all of it has been a part of my personality. It's just really cool to be at this agency. Everything actually like come to like a monetization, more professional, more like respected type of space.
Yeah, right. And like, how'd you even go about finding the events? I mean, like, that feels like a grind.
Yeah, it's a heavy grind.
Yeah.
So if I tell you, I have to kill you.
Yeah.
Okay. But no, a lot of the work that I do with that, it's like, so now I'm to the point where I can kind of just go off of my own stuff because now I go through like the things I've already tagged because I've tagged so many people and different things. So like I might just go to my previous post and be like, let me see what this person's doing if they have anything. Yeah. And I also like my feed, Instagram now curates your feed to what you look at.
Yeah, sure.
A lot of my feed is events happening.
Okay.
Of, like,
fair enough. Right.
and I save those and I, store them and wait for like, the month, because now I do monthly opposed to like weekly. But I would say when I was first looking into stuff, I would be on Eventbrite.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Right.
Yeah, I'd be on Eventbrite like, what's this? I would always follow up with Eventbrite with Instagram, because if you wasn't posting about it, and I'm still this way, if you don't post about it, like there'll be events that like I'll see people mention. Like this is a good example. Kanye was supposed to be here on the 9th or whatever. Not to say like no disrespect towards it falling through or whatever, but like I went back and forth about concluding that on the April events.
Okay.
But then I couldn't find it where I originally saw it. So my mind was like, I'm not going to include that because it might not be happening. So a lot of the time, like if you're not really posting your events, like for promoters, like if you're not posting your events, you're not sharing what you're actually like, what's going on, or you're not like if it's on Eventbrite but it's not on your Instagram, I'm not posting it.
Okay.
Because I just don't know.
There may be some sort of miscommunication or right.
Exactly. So, and that's how I've always been with it. Like I'd be like, well, I seen this on Eventbrite, but it's not on here. So y'all, what y'all want to do? Like, do you want to go?
Yeah, y'all make the move. Right.
I also check Facebook events from time to time, not a lot, but and then a lot of it is just like following all the right pages on Instagram and all the people, like in Pittsburgh, we're a very cool city, I will say, when it comes to events, because we don't always have, like, we have a nice a bit of spaces where it's like, okay, that this place is going to be doing something, and we have enough bit of like crews where okay, well, like Sad Bear might be up to this, or Slappers and Bangers is probably going to throw this. Like there's enough, even Union, like there's enough going on that you can like follow each different crowd and have a variety of different things going on.
Right. How was the and just even tracking wise, like how did you initially just kind of gauge how responsive people were? Like I know it's IG, and it may, I don't know, be more apparent than on other apps, but like I feel like with the lane that you're particularly in, it's kind of hard to like kind of gauge if people are going to the events because they heard it from you. You know what I mean? Like if you're not necessarily like looking at those metrics, if they just knew about the event in general,
right?
So how did you kind of gauge that? Like,
honestly, I don't even know if I fully have a gauge on that till this day. I think what I've always noticed was when I first started posting it, the reactions on Instagram were just amazing. Like the reaction I would get, like people were like, oh, I love this content. This is amazing. This is amazing. People were sharing it like crazy.
Could you see the insights at that point? Or okay, word.
Yeah, because at that point my account, my account on Instagram is considered like not an they don't call it an influencer account.
It's like a professional account though. Yeah.
Yes. So it's a professional account. So when I went viral, everything kind of exploded. It gave me that professional
copy.
lead.
Okay,
so,
right.
Like my TikTok is a professional account.
Yeah.
My Instagram is a professional account. So I was able to like from the first post, because that came after I went viral. From the first post, I was able to see like how the actual post was doing.
Facts.
And then Instagram has gotten way better over the past 2 years, because now I can see like how many saves, how many shares, things of that sort, and you can see it too. Like you can see how many times it's been shared. And so that's been really cool. But in the very beginning stages, it was just like looking everywhere, writing it down. I used to actually keep it in notes, like my actual notes. I'd be like, okay, this is happening here, this is happening there. So that's kind of how we navigated that back then.
Nah, facts. And you definitely touched on it earlier, in the episode, but we gotta talk about this viral moment.
Okay.
So, I mean, for no one who made out, and I'm just gonna get the Cliff Notes version, and like I'm gonna let you fill in the details. But you went to Miami, right? Met this dude, and like y'all's interaction goes viral, and this man's wife ended up reaching out to you.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's the super broad strokes. If you want to go in and fill in the fine lines, like, would you just
you got it.
Yeah.
You even said it better than some of the actual news sites that was reporting it. Like, people was like, she's missing the love of her life. I'm like, whoa, everybody slow down. No. So basically, like you said, I went to Miami August 2021 for my birthday.
Okay.
Me and my friends, we were having a great time. We met so many people that weekend. There's a lot of people I had their numbers, so it was no biggie.
It's Miami shit, right? Yeah, right.
He was one of the people I met. Did not save his number when he came, like gave it to me and everything, but it was just like, okay, cool, whatever. Never really thought about it, but how all those pictures, because my friends are creeps. Your friends be creeps. And so they remember, like, they were taking my pictures in the ocean, and he just like came in the ocean. I can't make this stuff up. This is what I mean. Remember I said in the beginning, some of this stuff be seeming like a movie. It's weird.
That nigga came from the bottom.
He literally, like, and I'm watching him too, because I've seen myself walk past, like, well, not seen myself, but I seen him when I was walking to go in the ocean. Like, I looked to my side eye. You know, you just look at somebody and you're like, they looking at me. So I'm like, he's looking at me.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, cool. I ain't paying it no mind. I'll go into the ocean. And then I see him walking, and he's like in my peripheral walking towards me as I'm like trying to take pictures. And I'm like, and my friend is just having a field day. She's switching back from video to picture. She's like, this is funny. This is crazy. So, like, you know, at the time, we're all lit on the beach. Like, Miami, if you've never been to Miami, like, have you ever been to Miami?
Nah, I haven't, yeah.
So the beach itself is like a party. Like,
okay. Yeah, no, facts. I've seen.
And lay out on the beach, and they have, like, people will walk around with drinks. People will walk
I saw niggas were doing Oklahoma drills on in fucking Miami.
They be doing a lot. Like, I think there was a podcast that was shooting while we were out there. Like,
sure there was.
There's people who bring you plates of food. Like, it's lit. Like, you could just really lay there and have a day. So we were lit. And we were just like, you know, he walked in the ocean, whatever, da-da-da. We left out the ocean, and he's like, you know, take my number, text me, da-da-da. So I'm thinking I took it. I'm like, I had it in there, and then I was like, all right, I just put my phone down and wasn't thinking about it. And then my friend, like, they showed me all the pictures and stuff. I'm like, get on my face with all this. Like, y'all crazy. And we just let it go. That was August 2021.
Yeah.
Now, by December-ish 2021, I'm on TikTok, and I'm like, I don't know. I just had this thing where I was like, I can do this TikTok stuff.
Yeah.
I can do it on TikTok. I know I can get a video that can do big numbers on TikTok. Like, I always see people do this. So I was like posting all types of videos at the time. Like, we did a meme party for Christmas.
Okay.
And I had all my friends show up as different memes. I recorded that and was posting it.
Nah, that's fire. Yeah.
We thought that was going to be the one that was going to hit everybody. We was really killing it with the meme. I was Nene from House of Wild.
Oh, yeah.
So we were like,
I said what I said.
Yeah. So we're like, oh, one of these is going to hit.
Type shit, right.
Then I remembered at the time I had seen this other video with a girl at a basketball game. And she had been posting about, like, help her find this guy. And he's helped me find him videos were, like, doing numbers.
Yeah, right.
And the girl, like, posted a guy at the basketball game, and they were, like, kept saying to her, well, why don't you just get up and speak to him? Like, why don't you just say hi to him? But, like, he was out there. He was fine, too. And he was out there, and she was, like, where she was at. And she was, like, staring, like, oh, I'm trying to talk to him or whatever. But, like, help me find him so I can get his information. So I seen that, and I was like, wonder if there's anybody I could, like,
fun.
But, like, maybe somebody I've met, you know, like anything like that. So I'm like looking through pictures. I'm like, oh, that guy. Yeah, he seemed cool. He was mad dope. I never kept up with him. So
yeah, right.
let's see if we can find him. So we posted it, and the rest was like history. Like, everything else was what you said.
Let's see if we can find him.
Let's see if we can find him.
And you found
all
something
of America, Brazil. We found the UK. We found everybody.
Yo,
It was the man. I still remember when it got posted on. I think when it got posted on Baller Alert, I was at the gym and I just stopped working out, and my friend looked at me and was like, "What's wrong?" And I was like, "I don't think I could really breathe right now." She was like, "What's wrong with you?" And I was like, "They put my post on, like, Baller Alert, and I need to, like, I gotta get off this a little bit." But it was a hell of a ride. And it was crazy. I mean, it was quite an experience.
How did his wife pull up on you? Like, how did she approach the situation? Like,
we're in the middle of the help me find him, whatever. Everything was still on TikTok at the time. It's doing numbers on TikTok, which is like, oh wow, this is crazy.
And how many views did that get just for
8.2 million, I think, all in all. Yeah.
Damn.
Which there's even posts that do way better than that now. So I'm surprised that
8 million ain't nothing to sneeze at. Like, that's crazy.
Of it was wet.
Oh no, of course. And like the Baller Alert fucking post that shit, right?
There was YouTubes about it. There was news reports about it, blogs about it. It was all over Instagram. I did an interview with the Shade Room in regard.
God
to it. Like,
damn,
it was a whole thing.
That's crazy.
Yeah, his wife basically. So after I posted the first post, she had commented on it and kind of was just like, "I know, dude, hit me up." So I'm like, okay. And then people kept saying, "Well, that's his wife." That's why I'm like, okay, whatever. So I hit her up. I'm like, "Oh, you know, dude," or whatever. She's like, "Yeah," and like, well, not like that, but she's like, "Yeah." Did he try to, like, sleep with you? Like, she, like, jumped straight to the point. I'm like, whoa, if he slept with me, I'm
came to you as a woman.
Yeah. Just as a woman. I'm like, well, first off, if he slept with me, I would have had his number. Look, that's the least I could do. I know how people be getting the wild things. I understand a lot of people get the wild things, but I at least got his number. So I'm like, no, I didn't sleep with him. I didn't even kiss him and none of that. And I was like, it was literally just like he flirting with. She was like, okay, because if you remember the video, like he was very
no. It was hands interlocked. Yo, I mean, it was comfy, and the water don't help at the the setting don't help. So this shit is crazy.
It was crazy. So, but she was so sweet and like she was just like, all right, cool. She had said like, can you just keep this up because I don't want him to lie about it, like the video. So I'm like. Okay, so I kept it up, and then I did like because people kept saying to me like what like, and I went a whole 24 hours. And everybody's like, "Oh, why is it still up? Why are you doing this? You want attention? You want that? You're being rude. You're disrespecting their marriage." And I'm like, she asked me to keep it up, so I was like, now we're doing a second video.
Yeah,
so we did a second video. I told the whole story, and I posted what she had said. And I think I posted his phone number too or something.
Oh shit.
And everybody was like mad about that. They're like, but I'm like, okay, whatever. And then I had made the joke, and I'm like, don't believe in fairy tales. You might go viral. Like, literally just a joke. It was just there was never any, like, when I posted that, dude, it was not in my mind that, like, I'm going to find him. We're going to get married and live happily ever after. It was just awesome. Like, let me see what this video could do. And walk away.
It said that shit, yeah.
But it did crazy. So then at that point, he made a rebuttal video.
Rebuttal is hilarious.
He did. He made like a 9-minute diss video about how basically he had said, the girl is a heavy set. I didn't like her. She's delusional and she's crazy, but I did walk in the water. And then I was just like,
what?
But I did walk in the water to try to talk to her. And then everybody was just like, so what did you come on?
Yeah.
Right. So
what?
Then I made.
And 9 minutes is crazy.
To say all that. And I just wrapped that up in like, 10 seconds. But yeah. But then after that, it ended up being like, I think I made one more video and I had just basically like had stood up for the curvy girls. Cause at that time, the Instagram, everything was going crazy. And I was like, I don't want that to be like the thing. Like, oh, she was like, because that was a lot of the
it was like whether you was in the water holding hands now because you got caught up.
Right.
It's heavy set now and shit. That's fucking crazy.
Exactly. So I just came back with a video like, I'm a model, I'm a curvy model at that. So we're not going to play them games, but like all is well and I'm not really worried about it. You said your part. Cool. And then we did the Shade Room interview and him and his wife showed up on the Shade Room interview. So they stayed.
Did you know that they're about to show up?
I did. Well, I wasn't with them. So I did a separate one and then they did a separate one.
Okay, word.
I had no clue that they were recording theirs at all. Like I didn't know that. But I'm actually glad because it added the context. And I'm glad that they actually did work it out because it wasn't, to each his own. Like, I don't know, like, what I would have done in that situation, but it was never in my intentions ever
to like break up a relationship. Yeah, facts.
So, and that was not like I had no clue. It was, and that
no,
was never...
but you didn't know. Like, you was just in Miami. Like,
exactly.
Just do the pro. Like, again, like it's just crazy because just from her perspective, she's probably chilling. She's like, is that fucking Marcus?
I couldn't imagine like. And my heart's dropping all the whole time it's going down on the other side. So I can't imagine what it's like to be on the side where it actually like impacts your time.
Right. No, but like there's no way you would have fucking known this thing has a whole family. And like, unfortunately, that's what niggas is out in Miami doing.
Yeah.
Y'all be hiding their family.
It was crazy. And that was like kind of like what was the crazy part about it was like, so that was actually like my third time being on vacation, finding somebody approaching me that was married. It happened to me in Atlanta. It happened to me the first time I went to Miami, and then it happened with him. But I didn't find out till after the fact, just because of the thing. But usually I find out right on the scene.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, you're what?
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
No, you're definitely in the hot spots. Atlanta, Miami. Those are definitely the hubs for married
and they're
for married approaches.
They be so open. They be throwing, girl, you want drinks, girl, whatever you want, pulling up in their nice cars.
Kids, what you talking about? Kids and a wife.
And then somehow somebody like, they're married. You be like, are you married? They be like, but what's the like?
Yeah, we're not talking about that. Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
Why ruin a good thing? It's crazy.
I'm like, please keep away from me. And I'm young at the time, so I wasn't looking for rings and
type
like
shit.
That.
Right.
Now I'm like,
nah, son, that's bro. And just even because like that eventually spun off into your podcast. They helped me find them podcasts, but like just even before we get into that, just briefly, like how was it navigating just getting 8 million views thrown on your neck like that? That's pretty fucking crazy.
It was wild. It was a wild ride. I would say I didn't know what to do with it. And I still to this day, like, if I can be very transparent, don't think I did as much as I could have with it. Just because you see some people go viral, like that chicken salad girl.
Oh yeah. Facts.
Brand deal.
Yeah, right.
Sign off on stuff like that. And then you see other people who go viral, and it's like they get all this, like, these things that kind of come from it. And like, not that I didn't get anything, and I'm not bitter about how it turned out. It's just that I didn't feel like I kind of maximized on the way of it. Like I didn't maximize in the way that I feel like it could have been. I did get a manager. We worked together. We actually just parted ways like beginning of this year. And we like navigated things as well as we could, because I ended up I didn't do an interview with The Real, but The Real covered it, and I gave them a lot of information on everything.
That's crazy. That's
Shade Room.
Yo, what's my girl's name?
Tamara.
Crystals. Is that Crystals joint with the Kid Fury, the Reed? Oh no, you said The Real. I'm thinking
The Real.
The Reed. Okay, my fault. Yeah.
I love me The Reed.
Okay, word.
But no. This was The Real. So The Real's canceled now, but that was like Cheetah Girl and Tamara from Tia Tamara.
Yeah, Tamara and Adrian.
Lonnie, I think.
Yeah, by Lon, I think. Adrian by Lon, I think so.
Yeah, so we navigated stuff as much as we could, and then we like ended up saying like, okay, well, what are you gonna come out with? And he was like him, and he had me meeting with other like execs at the time, and they were like, we think you need a podcast. And I was like, cool. So that's my next step. And they were like, yeah, so let's do a podcast. And I'm like, cool. And I'm sure you can tell me if you feel the same way. Like, podcast, it's not something you don't just say like, oh, we should do a podcast, and then the next day you have a podcast. Nah,
this is not sweet at all. Like, you have to show up not only for yourself, but like for whatever you're trying to build, just constantly.
Mm-hmm. You got to be in it. You got to learn more about it. You got to get the equipment. You got to get the show dynamic.
Nah, facts.
Everything down packed. You got to really, like, if it's going to be good, you have to really like devote yourself into it. So
absolutely
knew about the podcast. I knew the podcast was coming since February of 2022. I didn't put the podcast out until August 2022.
Okay, so say again. So like you said, you recorded in February, but didn't put it out.
No, I didn't record. I just knew.
Okay, copy. Okay.
So we had the name finalized, I think, by March of 2022. We started recording in May or June, one of the two. And then we finally posted the first episode in August.
Okay.
And it went until from like August to November. And then it was really good. And I know you'll probably ask me about that later, so I won't go into that too far. But sure. Yeah, so the whole thing with the viral thing, I think what came from that was I got a lot of followers. So I instantly became an influencer on TikTok overnight. Yeah. Which started changing my content in general. I'm like, I went from just being like, oh, we just doing stuff and we recording to like, hey y'all, so like I'm Mica Renee and I want you to try this on. Like,
you think that not and like it makes sense in hindsight. Like, do you think that was like I don't want to say like a knee-jerk reaction, but like do you think like you maybe just did that just because like you thought that like that was what you're supposed to do like in that moment?
I think everybody thinks that way because I even just did a podcast episode for like Straight Facts, and one of the girls on there, Liz Pop and Balloons, she told us that she had went viral on I don't know if she said TikTok or Instagram, I can't remember, but she mentioned she got like 23 million views on her video. Wow. And then she was like, and overnight I became like an influencer. And I think it's just like that mindset that like now I have all these people watching, so what am I going to do with it? Yeah, right. Like, am I just going to let this video sit, and am I just going to be like, cool, like I'm really not into this thing, or am I going to like jump in it? Yeah, right. Something of it. So that's my mindset with it, was like, okay, well, like now that we did this and I'm like have this space, I have 33 or something of the sort on, maybe I think it's 31 now, 31 on TikTok, 31K on TikTok. I got over 6K on Instagram. Yeah. And I actually came after the fact. So I was like, I think it got me to like 5K on Instagram. It was like, so what you gonna post? What you gonna do? Is it just gonna be like, you just gonna chill on it, or are you gonna like actually do something? Right. So I think everybody thinks that way, in my opinion. Like, I think you're smart if you jump into the space of like, now I'm an influencer. Now this is what I'm doing. Now here's the content. Here's the things, because people will grasp onto it, and that's why I created the Pittsburgh, like what's going on in Pittsburgh. That was actually a rebuttal to give more of like a consistent content. Yeah. Okay. Right. From going viral, like, type shit. To keep people on my page. Right. No, definitely. And then just even with within that, like, I don't think you should like blame yourself for not doing too much with it, because you didn't know that she was gonna go fucking, you know, the fucking baller alert was about to pick that shit up. Exactly. You know, and like that's the thing about virality. Like,
you can try and chase it for years and years and years, and then like the thing that like you're just like, man, fuck it, whatever, I'm just gonna and that's the shit that does it. And it's like, okay, well, I didn't know that's the thing that was gonna
exactly
do that thing.
And I think for me, like, I wish more was in place. Like, I wish I would have went viral like now, because like there's so many things in place now that I'm like, oh, if it goes viral, I'll be like, follow this, do this, make sure you hit it. But back then it was like I was just a model. Like at that point, not just a model, but like that was the only thing I was pushing at the time. So it's like, we model, like that's it. And I feel it would, and I feel like when you go viral, nobody really knows what to do with it. I think I did a fantastic job with what I have from it. Like, I'm proud of everything I got from it, but I'm still a little bit butthurt about them girls that be getting them crazy ass deals. Like, I know that chicken lady I think she got like, her deal was crazy. I seen the numbers on it. I'm like, from saying it's a chicken salad, saying it's a chicken salad, and you mean to tell me I was viral for like 2 months and didn't get that?
I mean, bro, even so with the dude with the fucking ocean spray and like the whole Fleetwood Mac vibe, like
make the rap songs that are like the most popular rap song, like Sexy Red, like got really big from like TikTok songs.
No, and then, absolutely.
And it bounces off, but they have like they keep up with stuff and stuff like that. You give the people more. So I think back then, like, I didn't want to be tied to that content either. There was nothing about me that wanted to be tied to like talking about married men and like, what was I going to do? Do a cheaters show next?
Right. And just like fall into that whole lane.
Yeah, like I didn't like that content anyways. It was just like some kind of like fun thing to do. And it ended up like, everybody was like, well, be messy with it and like jump into it and you'll get everything you want. And I was like, that ain't even like my morals or values. I don't got time for that. Like, this is
shit.
Not lying on this story. This is what happened. This is how it went. And that's that.
No,
everything that came from it is truly a blessing. And I'm very thankful for like where I sit with everything now.
No, absolutely. And just kind of winding down here, I do want to thank you so much for coming through and sharing your story, and just like sharing your journey. I think it's like you said, you're a fucking renaissance woman. So shout out to you. Yeah, I mean, you and Beyonce both Virgos. I know you're hosting Tall Teas.
Yes.
This month, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
So I will be hosting Tall Teas this month. With that's Make Sure You Have Fun's event. And I'm hoping I will jump in as a host. So that is April 13th. And I'll have a link that's actually posted. I've been posting it in my stories, also in my bio. If you buy tickets from there, you directly are supporting me. Because it is like, if you buy tickets, like I directly get like a portion of the ticket. So if you really love everything that I do on Instagram and you really love my content, it's a great way to show some appreciation. But I'm very excited. I don't know, have you ever been to anything I hosted before?
No, not yet.
So are you coming?
Tall T. I mean, shit. 13th. Yeah. I mean, shit. Why not? We may. Yeah. We'll see. We got going on.
I'll send you the link. But no, if you've never been to anything I hosted, like I want to make sure everybody leaves like feeling like they had a great time. It's going to be super dope. It's going to be an experience. So please come through, tell your friends.
Absolutely.
And we're going to have a lot of fun. It's 2000s themed too, so feel free.
Okay, shout out to that. Okay, bet that. All right, yeah, not that. Where can they find you on IG and everything?
So everything Mica Renee. So that's everything, and then it looks like Mica, but it's Mica, and then it's Renee, Renee. Mica Renee, MicaRenee on TikTok. Don't follow me on Twitter. And I don't remember, I think Snapchat is real Mica Renee. I don't want y'all to follow me on Twitter because I talk a lot of shit. I ain't ready for that.
Yeah.
And then same for Facebook, Mica Renee, MicaRenee. And yeah, that's the easiest ways to find me and follow through.
There you go, yo, Mica. Thank you so much again for coming through. We appreciate you, yo. The Masters in Creation podcast, man, episode 113, community content. You get it all here. Mica Renee in the building. And you listen, just stay out Miami.